Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX manual. As you can see here, this is a facelift version. It's a 2017 car with 69,000 miles on the clock. Finished in black with a full black leather interior. Really lovely car. This new styling on this generation is absolutely fantastic, I have to say, especially on these blacks because the chrome contrasts beautifully. Front of the car, very clean. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. There's no cracks or condensation in them. Bonnet, it's generally very good. Only the lightest stone chips. They are very light indeed, and very few of them. Near side of the car, nice and clean in the panel work. Near side front alloy, very good. Near side rear alloy, again very good. Just the tiniest bit of curbing above one of the spokes I can see there. And then the off side of the car, again very smooth in the panels. Offside rear alloy pretty much unmarked. The remaining panel work is really good. There always is the odd light little mark which you're naturally going to expect to see on a car this age of mileage, but it is very clean indeed. It's coming to the back of the car now. As you can see, electric tailgate working exactly as it should. Absolutely enormous boot, and it's been kept beautifully. It has got a dog guard, although there's no smells, no dog hairs I can see, and no obvious marks, so obviously clearly a very well behaved one. It's coming to the back now. Wide opening rear doors, black leather interior which have been kept really nicely. Coming to the front on the passenger side, again all very clean. Passenger seat very good there. Finally coming in on the driver's side, again all very nice. Footwell areas again very clean. The driver's seat is really good. The only way is naturally just the tiniest bit on the bolster on the ribbing there, but actually it's in much better condition than you normally see. So inside the car now, as always I have the engine running through this section, so the dashboard we can see illuminated. Dashboard is in excellent condition. Sat nav you can see working perfectly. Just pop the car into reverse there. Got that lovely clear gridded parking camera which complements the front and rear parking sensors. It has been kept very well. And come up to the main dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see 69,715 miles, and the only warning light on is for that low fuel light which is just pinged on. It is in beautiful condition. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX manual. Pardon me. This vehicle is registered LN17ZXP and has a mileage of 69,707 miles recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, by the way, is very simple. It's to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the cars actually in operation, and it's the very car advertised. The reason for it is, like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out it's actually got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst driving the car, so hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this absolutely lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route, by the way, that we take our customers on. So hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, starting with the engine as always, push button start, top of the range car. Engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, although it might ping because I think we're getting low enough on the fuel for it to suddenly come on any second. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be. And these are fabulous engines in every single way. They are regarded in the trade, but more widely than that as well, as being probably the best and most reliable and longest lasting engine of its type anywhere. It's an incredibly strong unit with regular servicing, but it also happens to be a lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's got a real mechanical sophistication to it that Honda give you. Very smooth, pulls without complaint from the lowest of revs. It's tractable, but it's also keen to rev, it's keen to get up and go as well. So you can be gentle with it, or if you really need to sort of accelerate hard, it does so. But you put your foot down, it just got that lovely induction noise you get from Honda. But it's sweet. It's got a sweet edge to it. Really nicely done. Engine feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch in the car, absolutely perfect. Bite point exactly where it's meant to be, and it's nice and smooth in operation. And the gearbox is your classic Honda gearbox, absolutely brilliant. Starts with the positioning of the gear lever. It's mounted quite high up at that angle into the gear lever, so the change plane, if you like, is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's kind of forward, it's not going that way, it's exactly as your arm would move. And it's perfect in that sense. But the quality of gear change is sensational. It's got a almost kind of a sporty feel to it, because it's very snappy, it's mechanical in feel because it is still cable operated, but it's so much better than virtually anything in its class. It's actually really satisfying to use, rather than you having to use it and put up with it. It's something that's actually quite enjoyable, and that feels exactly like it would have done when it was new. There's no wear in it at all. So coming to the steering and the chassis of the car, steering of the car tracks nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, but Honda know this market intimately, with the CR-V being the best-selling SUV in the world, and it's easy to see why they're so good to drive, because it's just so car-like. Way ahead of its time in that sense, and the steering is very much part of that. So when you go through corners like this one, minimal turn of the wheel, pinpoint accurate, very nicely weighted, does exactly what you want it to do without pretending it's sporty, because it isn't. It's not designed to be. It's designed to be very comfortable, and that's what the chassis gives you. It can eat up corners. It's really efficient. Body control's really well contained in terms of body motions, body roll in that sense, so it's more comfortable going through corners. You don't get that pitching effect that you get with lots of its competitors, but on the straight ahead as I am now, you get a really compliant, beautifully damped ride. It's very, very well judged, because Honda ultimately, like all manufacturers, they're trying to come up with something that's going to give you the best of kind of all worlds, which is ultimately a bit of a compromise, because it's trying to sort of give you a comfortable ride but with good body control. Ultimate body control is going to give you a very hard ride, so somewhere between the two, and it strikes a lovely balance. Also, by the way, just going up this section of road, which I tend to talk about it, because this is like the surface of the moon, it's horrendous. Absolutely no creaks, rattles from the suspension at all, so all absolutely spot on. I'm just going to give the brakes a bit of a shove whilst no one's directly behind me. That's a really nice brake pedal on the car, nice and powerful. No kind of pulsing or vibrations going back through the brake pedal at all, so all in very, very good order there. So finally, coming inside the car, it's yet to be cleaned, but it is very clean in here. But they're also, I've always said, they're just a very, very nice place to sit. But more than that, when you get in the car, which videos basically can't get across to you, is just how well put together these cars are. It's beautifully made. There's no squeaks or rattles from it. Again, Honda went for the design to give you, a family car is going to have to put up with a lot, so, they've made it practical in that sense. You can wipe the surfaces down very well. It's pretty hard wearing in that sense. You can take a bit of a bashing without looking tired, and this is a classic example of that. But when you're on the open road, you're met by fantastic visibility, very confidence inspiring. So got quite a low dash line in front, so I can actually see the bonnet of the car. got these massive, almost truck-like wing mirrors on the vehicle, so in changing lane on the motorway or on open roads, you know, you get a very, very good view out of the car. You know, again, unlike some, which you look at these tiny little sort of postage stamp style ones, which are utterly useless. But again, also the architecture of the dash and the information it gives is very well done. You know, it is a very highly equipped car for its age, actually. It's got lots of equipment, but it's, you know, within a day or two of driving, you've mastered it. You know, everything then becomes second nature very quickly indeed, and it's all working perfectly. So sat nav, as you can see, got a dual zone climate control system that offers you different temperatures side to side, by the way. It also pumps out absolutely ice cold air. All the switchgear has that lovely tactile feel that Honda give you, that kind of a rubbery precision to it. Heated seats again, all working exactly as intended. Dash pinnacle in front, simple legible dials, beautifully presented as Honda always do. So you just get the information, look away from it. You know, there's no kind of squinting to work out what you're trying to read. And then this lovely leather steering wheel, which is all kept very nicely. The whole interior has been kept very nicely, I have to say. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, albeit you don't press any buttons, you don't activate it yourself. It does it for you. Again, you know, Honda very early in the sort of gestation of the CR-V worked out very quickly that most people be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically it runs it in front-wheel drive, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. I told you the fuel light would come on. And yeah, it's by far and away the most efficient way to pull a car. If it needs to go into four-wheel drive, it does it itself, and very simply, it does it via the traction control system. So if the front wheels start to lose grip on sort of snow, mud or ice or something, it brings in the rear wheels seamlessly to give you four-wheel drive, and it is brilliantly effective. The advantages compared to a permanent four-wheel drive system are obvious. You're going to use less fuel, you're going to get through your tyres far less quickly, and you put a lot less mechanical stress through the vehicle. So much so that, you know, we've been selling Hondas using this system for nearly 3 decades now, and I can't think of ever actually putting a spanner on one of the four-wheel drive systems. So they are very, very robust indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is, it's only brief, is literally just to show the car in operation. Pardon me. And to feedback on any issues, of which there's none at all. It drives absolutely beautifully, and it's just a nice reminder again, as if we needed it, as to why these are so sought after. It's a very high quality product, I have to say.